All right, welcome to my student presentation number 1 for World Lit on the Cultural Revolution of China, and my name is Jacob Goodrich. So why did the Cultural Revolution take place? Mao felt, or at least said he did, that China was straying from communist too far down the path of revisionist, just as Russia under Stalin and other places had. Another quite large factor was that Mao was losing power. He felt challenged. Mao's own position in government had weakened after the failure of his Great Leap Forward. Mao, throughout his reign, I guess you could say, instituted so many policies and witch hunts and purges and stuff that many people kind of started to lose faith in him, and maybe not necessarily him, but at least in his witch hunts. We see in our book Wild Swans that there was a period before he really swung into the Cultural Revolution where he was trying to initiate it, but he had a hard time getting it off the ground because people resisted him. They didn't want to engage in more witch hunts. They wanted to be friends with their neighbors instead of being suspicious of who would report on who first, who would condemn the other to death. So the Cultural Revolution was an attempt to eliminate those who dared to cross him and those who stood in the way of Mao being the ultimate and supreme leader, an unchallenged emperor, I guess you could say. It was said that Emperor Mao always outweighed communist Mao. So what were his methods? Well, he may have lost a lot of power with party officials and people like that. He was still a very supreme, dominant leader in the minds of the children and the youth of the country. They all believed in him very strongly. People, because if you spoke out against Mao, then you would be punished. Therefore, the children and youth had been taught that Mao was great and that he was, everything good in their lives came from him. So the young people of the nation became his weapon against the current party leaders. He used them to take current party leaders to task for their embrace of supposed bourgeois values and lack of revolutionary spirit. So the Red Guard, it was formed by students and youth all across the nation, kind of on Mao's encouragement, and the Red Guards attacked and harassed members of China's elderly and intellectual population and just almost everyone in general that they wanted, but it was all under the excuse of, defending communism and Mao and holding that revolutionary spirit within them. So threats to Mao's power. During the first stages of the Cultural Revolution, Mao removed and disposed of many of his high communist leaders, including President Lao Shaoqi. I can't pronounce that. But just basically the men who had challenged his authority. And Lin Biao, he was designated as Mao's successor. However, as time passed, Mao felt that Lin was grabbing for too much power, and so he felt threatened by him. Therefore, Mao began to move against Lin, attempting to get rid of him, and Lin eventually supposedly died in a plane crash trying to escape into Russia. So the end of the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution mainly consisted of numerous power grabs from various high officials. All the while, Mao was attempting to stay on top. That was kind of the theme of the Cultural Revolution. Some 1.5 million people were killed during the Cultural Revolution, and many others suffered imprisonment, seizure of property, torture, and general humiliation. The Cultural Revolution's short-term effect may have been felt mainly in China's cities, but its long-term effect would impact the entire country for decades to come. Mao's large-scale attack on the party and system he had created would eventually produce a result opposite to what he had intended, leading many Chinese to lose their faith in their government altogether. And the Cultural Revolution ultimately and most decisively ended with Mao Zedong's death. So that's my presentation. Here are my sources. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.